English Pronunciation, Lesson 13. Topic: Pronunciation of T, the true T and the flap T. Part 1.
From the beginning, it's been a very bitter winter. Back in December, we had a terrible ice storm, and many families, mine included, lost electricity.
Today is a little warmer than usual,
But I know colder temperatures will return. I'll try to stay warm. You do the same. If you listened closely to my opening talk, I used a lot of words with the T sound. I did that to help you understand that there are different ways we pronounce T in American English. Now, in a previous lesson, I explained the omission of T. That is, when words are written with the letter T, but the T sound is not said. In this lesson, I'd like to talk about two different pronunciations of T. What I call the true T sound, as in talk, to, terrible, and what is called a flap T, or a tap.
In my opening talk, you heard me say these words: bitter, winter, terrible, storm, today, little, temperatures, return, try, and this phrase: a lot of families lost electricity. The T's in blue are a flap T. The underlined T's are a true T. By the end of this lesson, you should not only be able to hear the two different pronunciations of T, you should also have more confidence knowing when we use these two different sounds and how to make them yourself.
Let's first talk about a true T sound. A true T sounds like this. T, t, t. You hear this sound in words like talk, true, stop, return. So the true T occurs at the beginning of words, either alone or with other consonants, or at the beginning of a stressed syllable. Return has two syllables, but it's the second syllable that is stressed. T is at the start of that syllable, so we say return. Again, the true T, 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 is in all four words: talk, true, stop, return. Now, how am I making this sound? The T sound is what is known in English pronunciation as a stop. A stop is a consonant sound that is made by stopping the airflow. In the case of T, the airflow is stopped by the tip of our tongue and that hard bump behind your upper front teeth. The tip of your tongue touches that hard bump and stops the airflow, and then releases it. Picture this. These are your teeth, and this is the roof of your mouth. If it helps, I'll try to draw the face. Picture your nose, lips. Okay, here's the eyes. Okay, that's you. Your nose, your lips, your teeth, and there's that hard bump behind your upper front teeth. Now your tongue looks something like this. Okay, so the tip of your tongue touches that hard bump. The airflow is stopped. It cannot come out until the tip drops down and releases that air. That's why we call the true T a stop. So I want you to note three things when you make the T sound. First, you need to stop the airflow. You stop it with the tip of your tongue and that hard bump behind your upper front teeth. Second, when you release the air, there should be a puff of air. If you want to check to see if you're doing this correctly, take a piece of paper. As you say the T sound, the puff of air should be strong enough to move the paper in front of your lips. Watch. T, 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 t. See?
Now let me note one very important point. The true T makes a puff of air, but only when T, or TR, starts a word or a stressed syllable. With ST or STR, the true T loses that strong puff of air. So in the words to and true, we have the puff of air. But in stew and strew, that strong puff of air is absent. Take your hand and place it in front of your lips. Say these 4 words and you will feel the difference.
Alright, the third thing I'd like you to remember is that the T sound is a quiet sound. It's what's known as an unvoiced consonant, meaning there is no voice. You will feel no vibration when you make the T sound. T, t, t. You know you're doing it correctly if you can feel the difference between this and its voiced partner, D. These 2 consonant sounds are made basically the same way, but T is quiet, it's unvoiced, and D is voiced. So you'll feel no vibrations when you make the true T sound. T, t, t. And you will feel vibration when you make the D sound. D, d, d. Also, take that piece of paper again and watch the difference. Now, here's the T. T, t, t. Here's the D. D, d, d. There is more air released. There's a puff, a strong puff with the T. That strong puff is not present with the D.
Exercise 1. Listen and repeat. Group 1. All these words begin with a true T sound. Table, talk, tap, teach, time, touch, toy, turn, to. Group 2. All these words begin with a true T followed by an R. Traffic, train, tree, trend, triangle, trip, trouble, true, try. Group 3. All these words begin with ST or STR, so be careful not to release a strong puff of air. Stamp, stem, stick, stop, strain, stream, strong, strum. In Group 4, we have a true T in the middle of a word at the beginning of a stressed syllable. Attack, between, eternal, Italian, mistake. Note with the ST we do not have the strong puff of air. Again, mistake. Particular, retire, return. Please note, a true T is used in both primary and secondary stressed syllables. Let me help you understand through these 3 examples. Attack Attack is a word with 2 syllables. Stress is on the second. Attack. So T, although in the middle of the word, is at the beginning of a stressed syllable. So we have a true T, attack. Appetizer and secretary are longer words. They have both primary and secondary stress. Primary stress is at the beginning of these words, but the T still falls on a stressed syllable. It's secondary stress, a little weaker but still stressed. That's why it's still a true T. And we say appetizer, secretary. End of part 1. Please go on to the next part of this lesson.